Good afternoon for everybody. My PhD thesis is Novel Devices in the Rehabilitation of Children with Cerebral Palsy. My name is Mátyás Vezér, and I work at the Semmelweis University Department of Orthopedics, and my vision strengthens the faith that quality of life of children suffering from cerebral palsy can be improved by novel rehabilitation methods. And my mission is to clarify the indication and roles of innovative methods in the rehabilitation of children with cerebral palsy. Let me introduce my two ongoing projects. My first meta-analysis is the effectiveness of robot-assisted gait training on gross motor function in children with cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy occurs by the damage to the developing brain, which may cause movement disorders. Its incidence from 2 to 3 out of 1,000 live births, and in ambulatory children with cerebral palsy, improving is usually the main focus. Regular monotone rehabilitation is a part of the patient's everyday life, and robot-assisted gait training may bring a touch of excitement in this monotonity, and there is no any existing evidence that robot-assisted gait training would be better than the conventional therapy. Therefore, our aim is to investigate the efficacy of robot-assisted gait training. Our clinical question is, can robot-assisted gait training improve gross motor function in children with cerebral palsy? Our population is children with cerebral palsy, intervention robot-assisted gait training, comparator conventional therapy, and outcome gross motor function measurement D and E. Our hypothesis is that robot-assisted gait training is associated with better gross motor performance in cerebral palsy. We have started the systematic search in 2021, 1st of October, with the search key. And we have found 7,366 articles. From that, we have left at the end only 13 articles. Let me introduce my first forest plot. It's about gross motor function measurement D improvement in percentage after robot-assisted gait training. Gross motor function measurement D, it's a 39-point scale system which divided the patient according to their standing abilities. And as you can see, there is a huge heterogeneity in this forest plot. The reason of the heterogeneity could be because in the first two articles, they have used treadmill training as a comparator. And in the third article, they used conventional physiotherapy. And in the fourth article, they not reported the initial severity of the disease, and they started from a very low level. That's why we can see a huge improvement. So the mean effect after robot-assisted gait training is 3.04. Its percentage. It's above a minimal clinically important differences, but unfortunately, it's mathematically not significant. My second forest plot is about gross motor function measurement E, improvement in percentage after robot-assisted gait training. Gross motor function measurement E is a 72-point scale system which divided the patient according to their walking, running, and jumping abilities. The heterogeneity is high here too. The reason of the heterogeneity is what I have mentioned at the first forest plot. As you can see, we have a 4.15% improvement after robot-assisted gait training. It's above minimum clinically important differences, but unfortunately, mathematically, it's not significant. So our investigation strengths that we obtain a biomechanical information about the gait development through robot-assisted gait training, and our limitation could be the heterogeneity of the population and the study methodology. So our implication for practice is a wider use of robot-assisted gait training and treadmill training is recommended among cerebral palsy children rehabilitation, and our implication for research, a more homogeneous patient population and additional randomized control trials are needed to more accurately determine the effect size of robot-assisted gait training. And our conclusion is that the robot-assisted gait training is as useful for rehabilitation as treadmill training, and all cerebral palsy patients should use robot-assisted gait training or treadmill training during their rehabilitation. Let me introduce my second project. Is the efficacy of video game-based therapy to improve upper limb function in children with hemiplegic cerebral palsy. Approximately from 20 to 30% of individuals with CP are hemiplegic, and hemiplegia is a unilateral paralysis which affects the upper limbs more severely than the lower limbs. Children with CP usually have a variety of motor impairments such as muscle weakness, spasticity, and incoordination, which may result in dramatic function loss, for example, in reaching and grasping. Video game-based therapy thought to be as effective as usual care or conventional therapy. Therefore, better rehabilitation results can be achieved through increased compliance. Comprehensive studies regarding the effectiveness of video game-based therapy in upper extremity rehabilitation in children with CP are limited, and therefore our aim is to investigate the efficacy of video game-based therapy. Our clinical question is, what is the effectiveness of video game-based therapy on upper limb function in children with hemiplegic cerebral palsy? Our population is children with hemiplegic cerebral palsy, intervention of video game-based therapy, comparator, a conventional therapy, physical therapy, or absence of treatment, and our outcome is gross manual dexterity, grip strength, manual ability classification system. Our hypothesis is in hemiplegic cerebral palsy, video game-based therapy is associated with better outcome of upper limb function improvement than the conventional therapy. Our planned submission date for the first project is 2022 May and 2022 July for the second project. I would like to thank you for your attention with this code, a person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new.
Can you show your first forest plot, please?
Of course.
Can you explain why the results are different? The first study showed that physio is better. The last two improved that this robot-assisted gait training is better. Why?
In the first forest plot, we can see that robot-assisted gait training is worse than treadmill training. As you can see in the first two articles, they have used treadmill training as a control group. And we can see some improvement in the third article when they used conventional physiotherapy, as in the second forest plot.
Are you planning a leave-man-out examination?
We have to figure out, because we have some additional outcomes, for example, gait parameters, gait speed, cadence, step length, and step height, what we would like to use, but we have to pull these parameters, functional and gait parameters, to make something new.
Thank you for the great presentation. Did you consider this forest plot as a subgroup analysis of two different outcomes? So to analyze the treadmill and the physio separately?
Yes, we talked about that, and probably we will do it.
You already saw some of the research that, do they do that in the right way? I mean, combining actually conventional therapy with video therapy?
Yes, we think we can compare with this comparator, because between these comparators we cannot find any wide border according our outcomes.
Thank you very much for your talk.